Hi, my name is Courtney Cruz and I am a supervisor at the Suicide Prevention Center, and I've been a supervisor for 9 months. When I was 14, I had a friend who came up to me and said, you know, I want to kill myself. And at 14 in high school, you're like, what does that even mean? And how do you handle that? She showed me her scars, she told me what she wanted to do, and I said, okay, you know, and at that time, all I could do was tell her, you know what, I love you, and we'll figure it out. And at that time, then I said, you know what, I think the first thing we should do is tell your parents. So I called her parents and I said, hey, your daughter says that she wants to kill herself. And they panicked, but they got her to therapy, they got her where she needed to be, and she was safe from then on. But she continued to try to take her life and self-harm multiple times, and I was there for her, you know, ever since. We're still friends now, and she's in therapy, she's doing great. Then when I was at UCLA during my second year, my friend wrote her suicide letter to me, and she said, "Dear Courtney, this is what I'm gonna do, this is when, and this is how." And at that time, you know, it was like deja vu again. Like, I was like, this is not happening to me again. And luckily, she was able to get help in the time that she needed. And she's still here today. And, you know, I helped her through getting to therapy. I went to her therapy sessions. That's what inspired me. My two friends is what brought me here today. And knowing two people personally who have struggled with thoughts of self-harm, with thoughts of suicide, and being so close to someone who says, you know, the only reason I could even say it was because you talk about it. And that is the thing that touched me. And every time I take a call, I think about them. And I think about if I'm talking to them. So I think the biggest thing that was a shock to me was how many people call and say, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And to me, the first answer is, well, you're calling. That's the first thing you're doing right. And that to me was a shock, because I didn't think someone would think calling, you know, a suicide prevention center, you had to do it right. Like, there was a way to do that right. And so that was the biggest shock. And then to me, seeing the people that I work with and the people who I supervise, and then also who are veteran, you know, supervisors than me, to see how humble every person is and is willing to stay 3-4 hours past their shift just because a call comes in or because they know that another counselor needs support. My message is that, you know, mental illness, mental health isn't talked about in our society. It's getting better, but it really isn't. It's, you know, pushed under a rug or behind a closed door, and we don't talk about it. And, you know, I just want someone to know that there's nothing too taboo, too terrifying, too embarrassing to talk about. That it's okay, that we're here for that. You know, we wouldn't have so many wonderful volunteers and so many wonderful staff if we didn't care about this. And just to know that there's people who care, and that, you know, mental health, mental illness it's being talked about, but the thing is that when we say, you'll be in my thoughts, when we say, I wish you the best to a caller, we genuinely mean it. We genuinely mean we care about your health, we care about you, we care about your safety. We care about everything, and nothing's too embarrassing. And some people think that being in a crisis means that you're really at your breaking point and you're, you know, at that point where you're going to kill yourself. But there's many, many steps to suicide ideation, and many steps to even thinking, I don't want to be here today. And that is a crisis in itself. Or, you know, if your friend or family member is talking about it, you know, it's terrifying, it's troubling to hear that. And it's okay that we're here for that, and that those are crises, and it's okay to feel triggered by someone who says, I want to kill myself, if you've struggled, or even if you haven't struggled before. It's not an easy topic. It means your overall being. It means how you interact with the world. It means how you perceive stress. It means how you handle and cope with things throughout your day. It means that, you know, it's everything. You know, the brain is an organ just like any other. And if anything, the most important one. And we need to take care of it just the same as we would our pancreas or our liver. Well, I would want to say thank you to the callers for trusting us to deal with their crisis and to trust us to not laugh, to not run away from what they're saying, but to say, I'm here for you, and to take that step. And also to my two friends, because without them, I wouldn't be a supervisor today.